Welcome to episode number 11 of Saturday Night News. It is September 19th, and this is your tropical update. Let's take a look at what we got going on in the Atlantic. Tropical storm Beta or Beta, I'm not sure exactly how to say it. We'll say Beta for now. So let's take a look at the track for the storm, and it's a little bit different. The storm is definitely strengthened last night, and the storm is now up to 60 mile per hour winds. The storm has a pretty good tropical storm force wind field now as well, especially to the north and east of the center. So around 7 p.m. Sunday, this thing is expected to strengthen into a hurricane as it approaches the Texas Gulf Coast. And then, especially on Tuesday morning, is when we expect this thing to make landfall and then just kind of ride the coast, not going to go too far inland over to Louisiana. Currently, hurricane watches exist for much of the Texas Gulf Coast. Tropical storm warnings exist for even farther, and tropical storm watches extend all the way down to Brownsville and all the way over to central Louisiana. And like I said earlier, the storm currently has 60 mile per hour winds and is moving to the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Now we take a look at the potential storm surge from Tropical Storm Beta, and 2 to 4 feet possible along much of the Texas and also part of the Louisiana Gulf Coast. And these are areas that were hit pretty badly, some of them, by Hurricane Laura just a few weeks ago. And this could really hinder the cleanup efforts. And not only do we have storm surge flooding there, but even all the way over to Mississippi, we could see storm surge at the very low-lying Gulf Coast. Now we take a look at some of the other graphics here. The arrival time for the tropical storm force winds, earliest reasonable. I have the probabilities on there as well. Dark green is 5% chance, purple is 100%. So you could see greater than a 50-50 shot for a large portion of the Texas coast, and even stretching over to Lake Charles, Cameron, Louisiana as well. And the thinking is from the National Hurricane Center that tropical storm force winds could be on your front doorstep down there at the Gulf Coast as early as tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. That means that today is pretty much your last day to get preparations done. You're not going to have a whole lot of time tomorrow before those winds get in there. And now we also have to take a look at Major Hurricane Teddy, which has now been downgraded to a Category 3, but still has maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour as it barrels towards Bermuda. And let's take a look at the track for the storm. The storm currently has 120 mile per hour winds, as I said earlier. And just take a look at the size of that wind field. The edge of it will probably brush Bermuda, and that's why tropical storm warnings are in effect for the island as the storm passes just to the east on Monday. So let's take a look now at when exactly we could see those tropical storm force winds make it to Bermuda. First, let's take a look at the probability chart, and as you can see, about a 30 to 40% chance for the island of Bermuda. And now let's take a look at the earliest reasonable arrival time for those tropical storm force winds. The thinking from the National Hurricane Center as we zoom in here is that Sunday at 8 a.m. those tropical storm force winds could be on the doorstep of everyone in Bermuda. So just like Beta, this is pretty much the last day to prepare. Not much time tomorrow before those tropical storm force winds get in there. We can pretty much cross off the rest of the disturbances in the Atlantic. Wilfred, it's a minimum tropical storm. It's going to dissipate. That storm can be crossed off for sure. And that one there has a medium chance, but it's not really going to affect anyone. As for the Eastern Pacific, we have one disturbance with a high chance of development. It's headed out to sea, no effects to Mexico. And the Central Pacific, once again, is quiet. We've got a lot more coming up in just a little bit, but first, if you found this information useful and you want to help support my channel so I can keep doing these tropical updates, please hit the like button down below and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get me up to 35 or 36, or even higher than that potentially. Follow me on Twitter and Parler if you have accounts there. And get you a t-shirt, a hoodie, a coffee mug, or any of my other merchandise. Link for the online store is in the description below. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below as well.
Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a, department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies department or whatever, you know what I mean?
No, Joe, I don't know what you mean, but to give you the rest of the story, Joe then went on to talk about selling women's underwear, apparently. I don't know, ladies, but you can probably get 20% off if you let Joe sniff your hair. Do any of you have a lot on your mind right now? This next clip will make you forget all about it. Feel free to turn up the volume for full effect.
Domestic violence. But after I got shot, after a month of getting better, I had two choices to make. One was to survive out of government welfare.
I like how Trump just briefly turns, looks at the camera, and puts his fingers over his ears there for comedic effect. I must ask, I wonder what kind of music Joe likes to listen to.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here. All right. There you go. Dance a little bit, Joe. Come on. I tell you what, if I had to tell them any one of these people, I'd be elected president by acclamation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is exactly why I say to all of you neocons out there, don't even think about trying to outpander the Democrats. It ain't gonna happen. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has officially kicked the bucket, and that now leaves open a seat in the Supreme Court to be filled potentially before the election. Democrats and some Republicans feel that a move to fill that seat during an election year would violate precedent set back in 2016 with Mitch McConnell and President Obama. However, Trump saying that he will move quickly to replace Ginsburg. So does that mean we have to go through this again?
Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery.
Yeah, I guess so. But in the end, it'll all be worth it. We'll have a Supreme Court majority that some bozo like John Roberts can't overrule by siding with the Democrats. Donald Trump released a list of people who he would potentially pick as that person to fill that spot if it came available. Some of those include Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, Senator Josh Hawley, Missouri, and many others. They were, for the most part, all great choices. In other news tonight, Donald Trump has launched the 1776 program to help combat the more than obvious liberal indoctrination, not just at colleges and universities, but also in the public school system. Children are taught at a very young age about how there are 60 genders and all these different sexual orientations, and how, oh, the orange bad man and the bad GOP is killing planet Earth. Putting a stop to all this is, of course, a very crucial step in stopping a major demographic disaster for the Republican Party a few years down the road. This wraps up Saturday Night News. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for your tropical update. Be sure to hit like and hit subscribe on your way out. And stay safe if you're in the path of Beta or Teddy.